This is going to be another segment of the meeting that will be non-controversial and very enthusiastic by American citizens who love America and like to keep our freedom. I don't think there's anybody in this room who I know or don't know that would buy onto that strategy. I had the absolute pleasure of meeting Ms. Tracy Langston, who will take the floor in 13 seconds from now, and taking 2 levels of the training put on throughout the state of Arizona and 22 other states for the training from the Center for Self-Governance. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a training that will take away the good guys, the bad guys, the blue team, the red team, the hostile this, the glorified that. And, sorry for preaching. Anyway, the point of this is, we will understand what the fight is about. Self-governance. And that I'm going to suggest people in the room that join me with a little gray hair, we all need it. And I would recommend the first category of citizen to take this training are all elected officials in the entire nation. We would have our republic back if it goes down that way. And those of you in the room who are seeking elected office at any level of government, take this class. And hopefully there won't be any room in those classes for the rest of us until all the elected officials and those seeking those positions to govern us find out what self-governance is all about. With that, Tracy, take the floor.
Wow. Well, I'm from LD 25, and if you've ever heard of Russell Pierce, then that's my district, and so you know we've had a little contention over there at times too, all right? So, I just want to say thanks for allowing me to be here tonight, and I want to say thanks for what you're all doing just in being here. It means something that you care enough to show up and do something and engage. So, about 9 months ago, I heard about this organization called the Center for Self-Governance. And I didn't know anything about them, but I was kind of new to politics, new to civic engagement. Just been a couple years for me. This is my first time as a PC. And what I had seen was, we don't have enough people, and we don't have enough training. And so I heard about this organization. I thought, well, I want to know what they have to say. So I went and I listened to this gentleman speak about it. He is actually the president of Center for Self-Governance. Found out about what they were doing in Tennessee. In Tennessee, they went into a district, a county in Memphis, Tennessee, majority Democrat, majority unable to even read. They went in and they are changing things in Memphis, Tennessee. They're uniting people. They worked with the union there to get that legislation stopped. They are doing incredible things. The first elected official to take the Center for Self-Governance class was actually a Democrat senator from Tennessee. He took the classes, and because of his focus on self-governance, we're going to talk about what that means in a minute, but because of his change of focus, he's so popular with his district, he cannot be voted out, and he was voted an honorary Republican by the Republican Party. You know, the Democrat Party doesn't like him. His constituents love him. So they did a poll of 1,500 people, and they asked them, do you believe in being governed, or do you believe in self-governing? And out of those people, 81% said they believed in self-governing. And out of those 1,500 people surveyed, they were 100% Democrat. So, no matter what we think about all the things that divide us, we believe in self-governance. Your neighbor believes in self-governance. Almost everybody believes in self-governance. So what is that? What are we trying to teach with this training program? So I'm just going to jump back in history a little bit to the day that this diary entry was written. It was the day the Constitution was signed. Benjamin Franklin walked out of the Constitutional Convention, and a woman walked up to him. Her name was Mrs. Elizabeth Powell. She walked up to him and she asked him the question, what have you given us? A monarchy or a republic? And you know the answer. What was it?
Republic, if you can keep it.
Okay, so what's a republic? So we have a problem, don't we? We don't own can't even describe clearly what a republic is. If you ask somebody, if you ask people in here, they probably couldn't clearly explain what's the difference between a republic and a democracy. And there is a difference, isn't there? Yes. So a republic is the balanced center between centralized governance, which at its extreme is tyranny, and self-governance, which at the extreme is anarchy. We don't want either of those. We want a balanced center. So in the center, we find a place where this actually works. This comes from our Constitution, from the United States Constitution. All political power is inherent in the people, and governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed and are established to protect and maintain individual rights. So in a republic, what you have is majority rule with minority protection. It's extremely important to understand that, and for people to understand that. That's what the founders had in mind. That's why they wanted a republic, and clearly not a democracy. They knew what a democracy was. That's the tyranny of the majority. So he said a republic if you can keep it. So we want to find the balanced center between self-governance and centralized governance. That requires something. It's the part that he talked about. It's a republic. We know what a republic is now, right? But it's if you can keep it. I can keep it. If Mrs. Powell could keep it. Could Mrs. Powell vote? The woman who asked Benjamin Franklin that question? No. But yet he told her, if you can keep it. So did her power come from her vote? It didn't. It came from something else. It came from something else. Did it come from her husband's vote? So to find a balanced center, you have this burden of governance. It's built on a social contract. If your social contract is founded on natural law, then it will continue to work through time. That's why the Constitution still applies today, because it was founded on natural law. So it all rests, though, on this part right here, citizen engagement. When the citizens withdraw their engagement, centralized governance takes over. It becomes more burdensome, more weighty, more intrusive into our lives. So we have to continue to engage. We have to maintain the balance of power. Our Constitution also says we have to have a frequent recurrence to fundamental principles if we're going to secure our individual rights. That's us. Because when somebody gets elected, sometimes it's hard to frequently recur to fundamental principles. And that's our responsibility. So this is some of the things that we teach in our training program. We talk about what is power. You might think power is control, but it's not. Power is activity causing or preventing an action, strength or force producing an effect. In the earth, what is the source of the power to produce effects, to make things happen? What is the source of that power? I just mean on earth. What is the source of power to make things happen? It's people, though, right? If you're going to harness the power of the sun, you need people to do it. It's people. So we view ourselves as little reactors, energy reactors. There's power within me to do something. If I'm dead, I don't have power to do anything. There is power gone out of me. So we talk about the origin of power. This is what the founders talked about. Where does political power come from? That all power comes from the people. So what is governance? It's a little bit different. It is a method or system of management, but it's the controlling or directing influence and authority. So we elect people, right? This is us. We're the source of the power. And we elect somebody, the blue guy. All right, we elect him to flip the switch on natural and legal rights. But does he have the power? Is he the source of the power? Absolutely not. In any society, the source of the power is always the people. It is. Even in a totalitarian regime, the power still comes from the people. So we have that person to flip the switch on rights. So on legal and natural rights. So self-governance is exercising individual liberty, personal responsibility, but also civic authority for the control of instituted government. So that's what we teach you to do, is actually how to control instituted government. It's Mrs. Powell, who couldn't even vote, controlling instituted government. So Mrs. Powell is actually the person credited with talking George Washington into running for a second term as president. So she had incredible power, even though she couldn't vote. Our target is self-governance, and we do that by taking the focus off the issue or the candidate and putting the focus on the citizen, the individual, on you. So we don't rally people around an issue and a candidate, then tell them what to do, and then they burn out. No, we teach people what to do, and that empowers them. A team will form naturally because you need a team. You can't do this on your own. We can't control instituted government alone. And then you decide on the issue or the candidate that is most important at that time, and you form a team that goes and executes a mission. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how this works, because real quick here, not much time. But what the conventional wisdom is that during the legislative cycle, we focus on issues. So we get out there and we talk to people, we tell them you need to stop this issue, you need to encourage that issue. I mean, so we push people towards issues, kind of like pushing a herd of cows. After this issue, go that way, do this. And then during the election cycle, we get out really hard, and we get out and work really hard for the candidates. So we're constantly telling people what to do. Turn it upside down, and this is so exciting. So we call them citizen SEAL teams, driving self-governance. It is counterintuitive, unconventional, asymmetric, turn it around, and it works. It is incredible how it works, what they've done in Tennessee. We have a flyer here that shows the statistics of how effective it has been. So what you do is, during the legislative cycle, you focus on the government official. You watch what they're doing. You get inside. You get to know them. Representative Kavanaugh, is he here right now? No, I don't see him. Okay, so we're actually working on a bill right now that would hold state agencies accountable for the way that they spend their money. So we're inside the legislature. We're working with Kavanaugh to try to get this brought up in the Appropriations Committee. We're working on the Fiscal Responsibility Committee. We're meeting people and moving things along. So while we're there, we're focusing on the government official. If the issue fails, it's actually not live or die. That's okay, because we're inside. We're actually doing something influencing our government, right? So then, excuse me, then during the election cycle, we focus on the issues. We talk about the issue, and then the candidates start talking about the issues. So it changes what the candidates are talking about. We don't divide ourselves according to this candidate or that candidate. We say, this is the issue, this is the self-governance issue, we want to self-govern, right? This is the issue, and then the candidates start talking about it, the candidates start doing things about it. And so we use the issue during the legislative cycle as a tool to expose which government officials are obstacles to our self-governance and which government officials are pillars of our self-governance. And it works incredibly well. Then during the election cycle, we use the candidate as a tool to drive our self-governance issue. It's phenomenal how this works. So it continues. All right, I'm just going to jump ahead to Patty Stetson. Come down, please. Come on down. All right, so there is a very important distinction between what we've been taught about is our civic responsibility, educating ourselves, voting, and what is our civic authority. It takes civic authority and exercising civic authority to keep the republic. That's what it's going to take. So civic authority is this, and Patty's going to tell you about this.
I bet you there's not one person in this room that wants to give time, talent, and treasure and have zero effect. Is that right? Okay. So in level 1, this issue came up. Tennessee gets together, they recruit a candidate to go to the House of Representatives for one reason only. Guess which one? You will vote no when Obamacare comes up. Off he goes. Somewhere, you know those games that they play? They told him, leave the room when the vote comes up. Guess what? Now he's coming back to town, to his little town hall, and they say, how did you vote? We didn't have a quorum. Leads me to believe that he wasn't the only one that was asked to leave. But he thought he was not in Tennessee anymore. They went to work. And what did? They This is what I love about this class. They give you the tools to be effective. What did the team do? They went to all the donors. Money talks. Well, I mean, really, come on. And they said, guess what? You donated money for this guy to go down to Washington and vote no on Obamacare. And he walked out. No quorum. What are you going to do about it? They all, see this pile of, these are postcards. I think they were orange. 400 and something in it from all his donors that said, you either vote this way next time or you're out. Now, let me tell you how it was up to now, as far as I'm concerned. This was so powerful. He didn't vote, and we sat on our hands and went, maybe next time. No, this program is going to teach you how to make them accountable. We are the ones in control of our representatives. That's the way it should be. And this course gives us the tools to do that. I've finished level 3, and I'm loving it. And believe me, you are changing all the time your outlook. Thank you very much.
I am so grateful for my teammates. Thank you so much, Patty. So I'm just going to skip to the end here. There are 5 classes, and there's 40 hours of training. It's all on the website, and we have flyers, but the time is up, so I'm just going to get to the last part here. If we empower Mrs. Powell, we will keep the Republic, and if we don't, we won't. So I hope you will take a look at this. Jim has done a lot of work to get this class set up in Scottsdale. Please sign up for information about it. We're actually wanting to know what time would work for you for the meeting. So please, if you're interested in doing the class, fill in what time works for you because we want to set it up to work with your schedule. And this flyer talks about the class that's coming up, a little bit about the program, and also gives my contact information if you have any questions, and other classes that are available out there. So thank you all so much, and God bless.